So now this is number 2, but I'm gonna show you how to do number 2 algebraically using what we call the substitution method. So I got this first equation, 3x minus y over 3 equals 21. My second equation is x equals y plus 7. So what I could do is wherever I see an x in the first equation, I could replace it with this expression, y plus 7, because x is y plus 7. So x and y plus 7 are the same thing. So that means I could replace this x with y plus 7 because x and y plus 7 are the same thing because of this equal sign right here. That's what the equal sign means. It means that something is the same exact thing as something else, even if it doesn't look the same. It's exactly the same thing. Like 2 plus 2 is the same thing as 4, even though 2 and 2 and a plus sign are different from just writing a number 4. They represent the same value. So that means that wherever I see an x at, if I want to, I can replace it with this expression, y plus 7. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rewrite this first equation, except I'm gonna replace or substitute the x with the y plus 7. So now I got 3, and I use parentheses to represent the x value, which is y plus 7 now, right? So y plus 7 minus y over 3 is equal to 21. And then I'm gonna solve for y, right? I'm gonna go through this equation because you can only solve for one variable at a time inside one equation. So I'm gonna go through this equation, I'm gonna solve for y, and then once I solve for y, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna solve for x, because I'm gonna just take the number that I get for y and I'm gonna just plug it in wherever the y is. And then I'm gonna know what x is, because x is gonna be equal to whatever y is plus 7. So I'm gonna distribute the 3 to the y to get 3y. I'm gonna distribute the 3 to the 7. Don't forget the second number or term in the parentheses, like a lot of people do. And I'm gonna do minus y over 3. That's not gonna change. The equal sign not gonna change. The 21 not gonna change. And now I'm like, okay, well, here's another trick too I'm gonna show you. This is a fraction, this y over 3, right? Y over 3 is a fraction. I wanna get rid of this fraction. So what I do is I think of the LCD, the least common denominator of all the terms in this whole equation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if this was a fraction, this would be 3y over 1. If this was a fraction, this would be 21 over 1. This is already a fraction, so I don't got to do nothing to it. If this was a fraction, it'd be 21 over 1. So now I think to myself, well, what would the LCD be of 1, 1, 3, and 1? It would be 3. 3 is the least common denominator of all 4 of these fractions that I created. Well, one of them was already a fraction. I created these 3 right here, 1, 2, and 3. So what you do is with that 3, you take it and you multiply, you write it outside of the brackets that I drew, and you multiply each of the 4 terms by 3. So it's going to be 3 times 3y, which is 9y. 9y divided by 1 is just 9y. Then it's going to be 3 times 21, which is 63. 63 divided by 1 is 63. Now this is where the magic happens. This was the whole purpose of multiplying by the LCD, because it's going to make the fraction cancel out. Because 3 times negative y is negative 3y, but then you got to divide by 3. So negative 3y divided by 3 is negative y. And the fraction, just like that, is gone. And then you got the equal sign, and then 3 times 21 again is 63. So then we can combine like terms, 9y minus y, because these are like terms. That's going to be 8y. And then we got plus 63, and that's equal to 63. And then I'm going to do minus 63 on the left side. I'm going to do minus 63 on the right side. They cancel out. And now what's going to happen is I'm going to be left with 8y equals 0. So 8y equals 0. I know that 8 times 0 is the only thing that will give me 0. So I already know y is going to be equal to 0, right? But algebraically, I would do division by 8 over here and division by 8 over here. So I got y is equal to 0, right? I got y is equal to 0. Now, if we go back, remember this was a multiple choice question. We don't even really got to solve for x because there was only one answer. There was only one answer choice that had a y value of 0, which was choice C. Choice C was the only one that had a y value of 0. So you could work it out. And like I said, like we can work it out because x is equal to y plus 7. So if I believe that y is 0, I go back up here, I look at x equals y plus 7. So that means that x is equal to 0 plus 7. And 0 plus 7 is 7. So that means that the solution is 7 and 0 either way. So the first way we did it was through back solving. Now we doing it through algebraic methods. This is called the substitution method that I just used. And I also had to clear out the fraction. I ain't have to do that, but I think it just makes the work easier. because I would have had to do 3y minus y over 3, which would have been, I would have had to do more work with fractions and whatnot that I didn't necessarily want to do. So I just cleared out the fraction by multiplying by the LCD. That's a trick. That's one of these like algebraic tricks of the trade, you know. So anyway, yeah, so that's how you solve a system of equations using the substitution method.